students, how are you all? I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to discuss chapter 6, Physical and Chemical Chains. Let's warm up. Write IR for irreversible chains and RC for reversible chains. So student, look at these pictures. Here you have to write the reversible and irreversible chains. You can do it by yourself. Let's know about physical chains, chemical chains, rusting of iron. So students, these are the topics we are going to discuss in our chapter. Let's start. We notice different chains all around us. These chains and matter around us can be identified by observing changes in the physical characteristics like size, shape, and color of the matter. Yet there can be changes in physical properties of a matter which tell us about their chemical composition. तो स्टूडेंट्स, आप सबको पता है कि चेंज जो है वो किसी भी तरीके से हो सकता है, फिजिकली हो सकता है, साइज हो सकता है, शेप हो सकता है, कलर हो सकता है और कुछ केमिकल चेंज भी होते हैं जो हमें किसी भी मैटर का केमिकल कॉम्पोजिशन बताते हैं. ट्राई टू मेक अ लिस्ट ऑफ चेंज व्हिच यू कॉमनली ऑब्जर्व अराउंड यू. सो स्टूडेंट, यू कैन मेक अ लिस्ट and try to find out which chains occur in these things. Here we have physical chains. Let us carefully examine some chains by carrying the following activities to understand physical change. So student, now we are going to discuss some activities to understand the physical change. Here we have an activity, activity 1, melting of ice and again freezing of water, melted ice. Take some cubes of ice in a 250 ml beaker and keep it in sunlight for some time. You will observe that ice starts melting and all the ice get melted in some time. Now put the melted ice water in an ice tray and keep it into freezer. After some time, you will again get the ice cube. So student, if you take a ice cube and you melt it, then you get water. After you getting water, again you freeze it, then you get ice. Here we have an activity again, activity 2. Boiling of water to convert into steam and again cooling to steam to convert it into water. So student, अब हम जो activity करेंगे वो water की boiling की करेंगे कि उसको steam में change करेंगे और steam को water में change करेंगे. Take about 50 ml of water in a 250 ml beaker. Heat the beaker containing water on a gas burner. After some time, water will start boiling and water vapor will evolve. Hold an inverted pan by its handling over the steam at some distance from the boiling water. You will observe that the water droplets are collected on the inner surface of the pan. So student, that's how you can perform this activity with the help of your teacher. Here we have, in all the above 4 activities, we see that the composition of substance do not change. Here, in activity 1, ice changes into water and water changes back into ice. Thus, the chemical composition of ice or water remains the same throughout the activity. Only the state of substance changes from one state to another. So, student, first activity में क्या हुआ है कि substance की state change हुई है. Here we have again a point. In activity 2, water gets converted into water vapor and water vapor gets converted back into water. In activity 2, water gets converted into water vapor and water vapor gets converted back into water. So the composition of the water or water vapor remains the same. No new substance is formed. Only the change of state liquid to vapor and vice versa take place. Properties such as shape, size, color and state, temperature of a substance are called its physical properties. A change in which substance undergoes a change in its physical properties is called a physical change. Examples are melting of ice or freezing of water, dissolution of salt or sugar into water, melting of wax, evaporation or condensation, expansion of iron rim on heating and contraction on cooling, cutting of paper sheet into smaller pieces, etc. So students, physical change क्या होता है जब किसी substance की physical properties में change आता है. That means उसका chemical composition change नहीं होता है, जैसे freezing of water and melting of ice. Both are the same. That's temperature change हो रहा है, water की state change हो रही है, but physical properties ही change हो रही है, कोई chemical change नहीं हो रहा है. So these are physical change. Now we are going to read about the characteristics of physical change. A physical change is generally reversible. In such a change, no new substance is formed. Only physical properties of the substance change. So student, किसी नए substance की formation नहीं होती है और सिर्फ physical properties में ही change होता है. Now we are going to discuss chemical change. In order to understand the chemical change, Let us perform the following activities and carefully examine the changes that occur during these activities. Here we have activity 3. Changing magnesium into magnesium oxide and magnesium oxide into magnesium hydroxide. So students, we are going to read about these changes. Here we have the activity needs questions, so it should be demonstrated by the teacher. Take a small piece of magnesium ribbon, clean the surface of the ribbon with the help of a piece of sandpaper, burn the ribbon with the help of candle flame. It burns with a brilliant white light. Look at this picture, that's how it burns. Burning magnesium ribbon. Here we have, on complete burning, the magnesium ribbon gets converted into powdered S, which is different from magnesium ribbon. Thus, a new substance is formed. The change can be represented by the following equation: Mg plus O, magnesium plus oxygen. After reaction, magnesium oxide, MgO. Collect the S and mix it with a small amount of water. Stir the mixture aqueous solution well. Test the mixture with the blue and red litmus paper. Does the mixture turns red litmus blue? Does the mixture turns blue litmus red? On the basis of this test, how do you classify the aqueous solution, acidic or basic? On dissolving the S in water, it forms a new substance. This change can be written in the form of the following equation: magnesium oxide MgO plus H2O water. After reaction, MgOH whole twice magnesium hydroxide. As you have already learned in this chapter, magnesium hydroxide is a base. So magnesium oxide is a new substance formed on burning magnesium, and magnesium hydroxide is another new substance formed by mixing magnesium oxide and water. So student, this activity you have to perform in the presence of your teacher, or this activity demonstrated by your teacher. In this activity, what you find, when you burn a magnesium ribbon, you find the new substance, that is magnesium oxide. And when you mix magnesium oxide with water, you get a new substance, that is magnesium hydroxide. So student, this is a chemical change because we get the new substance in this change. Here we have activity 4. Take about a teaspoonful of vinegar in a test tube, add a pinch of baking soda to it. You would hear a hissing sound and see bubbles of a gas coming out. Pass this gas into freshly prepared lime water solution as shown here. Look here student, that's how you have to pass this gas into a lime water solution. Set up to pass the gas through lime water. When you pass this gas through lime water turns milky. Get it students? Now we have activity 5. Blue color of aqueous solution of copper sulfate changes to green by the formation of iron sulfate. To be demonstrated by the teacher. So student, this activity also demonstrated by your teacher. Here we have, take about 50 gram of copper sulfate, blue vitriol or Neela Thota in about 100 ml of water in beaker. Add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to the solution. You should get a blue color solution. Take half of the solution in another beaker. Drop a nail or a used shaving blade into the remaining solution. Wait for half an hour or so. Observe the color of the solution. Compare it with the color of sample solution saved separately. Take out the nail or the blade. Has it changed in any way? Look at these pictures students. We have copper sulfate, iron sulfate. Change in the color of copper sulfate solution due to the reaction with iron. These activities can be demonstrated by your teacher in the class. The changes that you notice are due to a reaction between copper sulfate and iron. The change in the color of the solution from blue to green is due to the formation of iron sulfate, a new substance. The brown deposit on the iron nail is copper. Another new substance, we can write the reaction as copper sulfate solution blue plus iron. After reaction, iron sulfate solution green plus copper brown deposit. What happens of the lime water? Do you see any change in the color of the solution? The change in the test tube is as follows: vinegar, acetic acid plus baking soda, sodium hydrogen carbonate, carbon. After reaction, carbon dioxide plus other substances. The reaction between carbon dioxide and lime water as follows: carbon dioxide plus lime water, CaOH whole twice. After reaction, calcium carbonate, CaCO3 plus water, H2. When carbon dioxide is passed through lime water, calcium carbonate is formed, which makes lime water milky. The turning of lime water into milky is a standard test of carbon dioxide. So student, these are the different reactions which happen during these activities. And these reactions show the chemical change in these type of reactions. Here we have in activity 3 to 5, we observe that in each change, one or more new substances were formed. In activity 3, the ash and the new substance formed when magnesium was burnt. It is magnesium oxide. When this magnesium oxide is dissolved in water, another new substance, magnesium hydroxide, was formed. In activity 4, vinegar and baking soda together produced carbon dioxide, which turned lime water milky. A change in which one or more new substances are formed is called chemical change. A chemical change is also called a chemical reaction. In activity 5, the reaction of copper sulfate with iron produced iron sulfate and copper. Both of these are new substances. Copper was deposited on the saving blade of iron. So student, अगर हम chemical change की बात करें तो जब कोई new substance की formation होती है, that is chemical change. और हम chemical change को chemical reaction भी बोलते हैं. Now we have check and mate. As we already read about these things, so you can do it by yourself. Now we have rusting of iron. You must have many a times iron benches, gates and railings in the park need to be painted regularly. When a piece of iron is left in an open place with lots of humidity or in a wet place of few days, a reddish brown color appears on its surface. This is rust. So student, I think you all know what is rust. That is a brown surface on an iron, that is rust. Here we have, look at this picture, rusting of iron. Rust in an iron compound that forms due to the reaction of iron with water and oxygen. The process of formation rust is called rusting. It is a chemical reaction that takes place over a period of time. Oxygen and water must be present for iron to rust. Here we have iron Fe plus oxygen O2 from the air plus water H2O. After reaction rust iron oxide Fe2O3. So students, rusting of iron भी chemical change है, chemical reaction है, किसकी presence में होती है? Oxygen और water की presence में होती है. Get it students? Now, do you know rusting is faster in presence of salt? Parts of a ship which remain submerged in seawater rust much faster than the other parts. In spite of painting them regularly, they get damaged by rusting and need regular repairing. So student, here you know that कि जो rusting है वो salt की present में ज़्यादा होती है. Get it? Now we have, for rusting, the presence of both oxygen and water or water vapor is essential. In fact, if the content of moisture in air is high, which means if it is more humid, rusting becomes faster. Now, prevention of rusting. Prevention iron articles from coming in contact with oxygen or water or both. One simple way is to apply a coat of paint or grease. In fact, these coats should be applied regularly to prevent rusting. Another way is to deposit a layer of metal like chromium or zinc on iron. This process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron is called galvanization. The iron pipes we use in our homes to carry water are galvanized to prevent rusting. You know that ships are made of iron and a part of them remains under the water. On the part above water also, water drops keep plunging to the ship's outer surface. Moreover, the water of the sea contains many salts. The salt water makes the process of rust formation faster. So student, as you know that कि salt की presence में rusting of iron या rusting जो है उसका rate जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है. एंड अगर हम प्रिवेंशन की बात करें तो आप पेंट कर सकते हैं जो आपकी आयरन की चीजें उन पे कोटिंग कर सकते हैं जिंक की, और जो हम कोटिंग करते हैं उसको हम गैल्वेनाइजेशन बोलते हैं. गेट इट स्टूडेंट्स? नाउ अगेन वी हैव चेक एंड वेट. As we already read about these things, so you can do it by yourself. Here we have crystallization. Crystallization is the process by which pure crystals of a substance are obtained from its impure solution. Pure salts crystals can be obtained from seawater by the method of crystallization. Let us understand the concept of crystallization with the help of an activity. Now we have an activity 6, to be performed in the presence of teacher. So student, you have to take care that you have to perform this activity in the presence of your teacher. Take a cup full of water in a beaker and add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid. Heat the water. When it starts boiling, add copper sulfate powder slowly while stirring continuously. Continue adding copper sulfate powder till no more powder can be dissolved. Filter the solution. Allow it to cool. Do not disturb the solution when it is cooling. Look at the solution after some time. Can you see the crystals of copper sulfate? If not, wait for some more time. Here, look at this picture. We have copper sulfate crystals and crystals of copper sulfate. So students, what you have to do? You have to take a water in a beaker and add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid in it. देन आप उसमें कॉपर सल्फेट ऐड करते जाओ, उसको स्टिर करते जाओ, तब तक ऐड करना है जब तक वो उसमें मिक्स होना बंद ना हो जाए. उसके बाद आपको कुछ टाइम के लिए अपने सॉल्यूशन को छोड़ देना है. देन यू सी द क्रिस्टल्स ऑफ कॉपर सल्फेट. Now students, what we learn in this chapter, now we will discuss it in a nutshell. The reversible chains are those which can be reversed. That means initial state or original substance can be obtained back by simple physical methods. The irreversible chains are those chains in which the initial state of the substance or the original substance cannot be obtained back by any method. So student, reversible change क्या होते हैं? जिसमें हम initial state या original state में वापस आ सकते हैं किसी physical method से, और irreversible change वो होते हैं जिसमें हम original state पर वापस नहीं आ सकते. Here we have chains can also grouped as physical chains and chemical chains. Physical chains are chains in the physical properties of substances. New substances are formed in these chains. These chains may be reversible. In chemical chains, these chains may be irreversible. In chemical chains, new substances are produced. Rusting is a chemical change. For rusting, the presence of both oxygen and water or water vapor is essential. Now students, we have some keywords. Look here. Physical change. Change that affects only the physical properties of a substance and where no new substances are formed is called physical change. Then we have crystallization, a process of making crystals of a solid from its solution. Then we have galvanization, coating the surface of iron with zinc to prevent its rusting. Then we have chemical change. Chains that involve the formation of new substances are called chemical change. Then we have chemical reaction. A chemical reaction is a process which transforms one or more substance into new substances with new properties. Thank you students. We will meet again in the next chapter. Till then, revise what we learned today.